for the useless news.
Useless news.
Right here on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Venkman reporting.
Hey everybody, my name is Venkman. Welcome to the Big Dumb Fun Show. This is the useless news, heard only on the Big Dumb Fun Show, is always brought to you by Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa and my new improved megaphone for 2013. That's right. This puppy is new and improved and is so much louder than the other megaphone, and I can yell at everybody in the room all at one time. There's the new one.
Where's the old one?
There's the old one that you cannot have.
I'm going to steal it.
I'm going to have a nice little collection of megaphones here eventually, but thanks to all the fine folks at Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa for coming up with that. Jonathan Freeman of San Rafael, California, was pulled over for driving alone in the carpool lane. He argued to the officer that he did have a passenger with him. He waved his corporation papers at the officer. He told the NBCarea.com, saying that he said that corporations are people under California law. This guy was incorporated, so that means he was more than one person, like a business corporation.
There was actually a corporation sitting in the seat next to him.
Freeman doesn't actually support this notion. For more than 10 years, he's been trying to get pulled over to get ticketed and take his argument to court. So the guy's trying to get pulled over, and for 10 years, nobody's ever pulled him over.
He's like having to keep renewing his business license for the incorporated entity.
God, it sucks.
He's driving all over town in the commuter in the carpool lane. 10 years he never got pulled over.
Pull over.
Like he wants him to pull him over.
Nobody's pulling him over. Finally, the guy gets pulled over. He's like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. He wants to challenge a judge to determine that corporations and people are not the same. Mission accomplished in October when he was slapped with a fine. So he's going to take this to court in hopes that the judge says, no, corporations and people are not the same. And then he's going to take that and do something else with it. It's pretty interesting. Freeman has been frustrated with corporate personhood since before it became a hot-button issue in 2010, when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that corporate and union spending may not be restricted by the government under the First Amendment. At the heart of the High Court ruling was the argument that corporations, because they are composed of individuals, deserve protection under the First Amendment, which guarantees free speech. Freeman, who faces a traffic court on Monday, that's today, plans to tell the judge that it isn't about carpool lanes, it's about corporate power. He's just addressing their power and using it for his service to drive in the carpool lane. He said, he told the NBC News. It goes on and on and on, but what do you think about that? That's pretty interesting. The guy had been driving for 10 years. Here's what I would do.
I think it's more interesting that he's been driving for 10 years in the carpool lane.
That's the most interesting part of the story. He's been driving 10 years in the carpool lane. Nobody said a damn thing to him.
Why can't they use that evidence against him to up the rate on the ticket?
He admitted the driving. Oh, that'd be great. And the judge slaps him with his huge fine for 10 years of disobedient driving
in the carpool lane.
But they couldn't prove it.
He just admitted it.
He just admitted it.
But you can say things. It's one thing to prove things.
Can you say things as a corporation?
But when you're under arrest, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
He was not under arrest. He was just ticketed.
When you are pulled over, you are the same as under arrest.
I do not believe so.
You ask any police
Nobody
officer.
reads my Miranda rights when they're giving me a
Ask
ticket.
a police
when I get
officer.
pulled over in Lone Jack on my way to UCM. All right, and then
Only you.
Rena, I know you get this big wedding cut. Here's a little bit of news that this happens. Manatee County, Florida. A Florida woman is in jail because she said that the sex between her and her boyfriend was cut short. According to police, the 50-year-old Jenny Scott was booked into the Manatee County Jail for allegedly striking her boyfriend because he, quote, finished first and stopped pleasuring her.
So she's in jail?
Yeah. Witnesses say they heard the couple arguing. Someone witnessed Scott punching and scratching her on and off again boyfriend, 32-year-old Gilbert DeLeon.
Gilbert?
Witnesses also described Scott getting ready to beat her man with a wrench before it was taken from her hands by the witness. According to the police report, the arguing began when DeLorean pumped the brakes on oral treats, and that ticked off Scott big time. But this amazing love story doesn't end there. She allegedly kicked out the window of a police cruiser that while she was being arrested.
Oh, nice.
That's when police warned her that she would be maced if she didn't cool her jets. Scott was, quote, extremely intoxicated when she was arrested, according to police. And then there's more to the story for that.
I was going to ask. She had to be on some sort of drugs or alcohol.
Or maybe she was
very abusive.
Maybe it wasn't the first time, and, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
like, you always finish first!
And why did you say
And
that about...
stop.
Why did you say with Rena
I'm just
having a
saying.
big wedding coming up?
Hey, you got the wedding, you're going to get married. This is stuff that old people fight about, old married people. This is
Are
what
you
have
saying
to look,
I'm
look to.
verbally abusive? Are you saying I'm an alcoholic?
Verbally
I don't
abusive?
know.
Are
Would
you
that be the
saying
same
I'm
as being orally
raging?
abusive?
You admitted to being a bridezilla earlier.
You
I
did.
said I'm being a bridezilla.
You already
right
let the
now 'cause
pressure
I'm
get to you.
stressed. I'm stressed.
Well, if Tyler would not finish early, you might not be so stressed.
I was going to say, maybe if he just went all the way through with it,
I'm keeping my
You'd be
comments
A-okay.
to myself.
I'll keep my comments to myself as well.
Thank you.
Please. Because,
I'm just going to tell Ross over there.
he might have a better relationship if he had better follow through.
And just one thing to
I'm
remember.
not going there.
When you get
Nobody
arrested,
has
don't
better
kick the window
follow-through
out of the
than me.
police cruiser.
Well, I'm not getting arrested.
Okay, just
Don't.
let you know.
Have you had a ticket before?
Hell yeah. I've
So
had
you've
many.
been arrested before in the eyes of Mark and the courts.
Oh, well. Actually, we just got a speeding ticket. I didn't. Tyler did.
Mhm. Were you both
On
in the car?
our Christmas party. Uh-huh.
Oh.
After our Christmas party.
He was
Yeah.
speeding?
Yeah, but
What was you doing? To
What
make
were
you
you doing?
speed?
I was sitting in the front seat.
Doing.
Sitting there.
Nothing else?
No, with my
Seatbelt
yeah.
on?
Mm-hmm.
Was his seatbelt on?
Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not going to admit
So you're saying
that.
he didn't have protection? Prosecutors in St. Louis say that a suspect stole more than $500 from his nephew's piggy bank to buy a prostitute and drugs.
Lovely.
Teach you to save money.
Baron Calmes Jr. appeared in court yesterday. He was arrested in September, admitted to stealing $504 from his nephew. His sister told investigators that she gave him permission to take some change, but $2 in quarters, but turned out to be $504. Think of this guy, like, I'm just going to get $2 in quarters out of this piggy bank, and then he opens it up, and this nephew's, like, selling drugs on the side or something, like $504.
How old is this nephew that
nephew's
he
been saving
has
money.
that much money in his piggy bank?
When officers asked what he did with the money, the guy said he bought a piece of ass and some heroin.
Son, I'm going to teach you what not to do with your money.
That's true.
Because sometimes when you're saving money, you want it to save something for you.
The story does go into the fact that he had very good follow-through. My name is Vankman. That is the Useless News. Tune in to the Useless News each Monday on the Big Dumb Fun Show and send your useless crap to uselessnews@bigdumbfunshow.com or facebook.com/theuselessnews.
I love you and you love me. PDA for the world to see. Kissing and a hugging, doing shopping chores. Up and down the aisle at the Walmart store. We get all dressed up when we go out to shop. My Metallica shirt and your halter top. Wearing my Bermudas, you got spandex on.